Good day, everyone. My name is Kevin. Tonight I'll be talking on a very important topic, and that is understanding your potential. You see, a lot of us have been given the abilities, to do much more than what we are doing today. But it is so unfortunate that a lot of us have not tapped into our abilities and our potential, and that is why we are where we are today. The society might have given us a threshold mark of what we think we can achieve and what we think we cannot achieve. But tonight I will be unraveling the mystery behind your potential and how much more you have the abilities in accomplishing things that you do not know for yourself. You see, when we talk about potential simply means the untapped abilities that you have. It can also mean the power that is yet to be used. When we talk about potential, it has to do with the abilities that you can exert in getting a result that you have not done yet. So for instance, a battery is able to light up a bulb. That is the potential. Now, if it has not done it, if it has not lightened the bulb, it still has the potential in it until it is being activated, until some wires are being connected to the bulb for it to light that bulb. So you see, when we talk about potential, it is the untapped energy, the untapped power that you have within you that is yet to be uncovered or that is yet to be discovered. When we say a place has a potential, it simply means that there are resources that we cannot see presently, but through searching and discovery, we would get to see those abilities and resources, and that is how it is to each and everyone. Now, I want you to understand that when we talk about potential comes from within. Your potential do not come from the school you go to. Your potential do not come from the environment you find yourself. And so you must understand that every potential comes from the inside of a thing. So the potential of a seed is found within that seed. When I pick a seed and I show it to you and I ask you, what do you see? The obvious answer you would say is that you see a seed. Although that is the fact, but the truth is that in that seed is a forest. How is it a forest? Because in the potential of that seed lies a tree. When you plant a seed, it grows and becomes a full-grown tree, and that full-grown tree produces fruits that has seed in them, and that seed in them are also trees that produces a full-grown fruit, and so on and so forth. And from that one seed, a forest can be generated. That is the potential of a seed, or that is the potential. When you hold a seed, you know that it is not just a seed, it is a forest. Why? Because it has the potential in multiplying itself and in doing so much more than you think it can do. That is how it is to each and everybody. You have a potential that is within you that you have not yet tapped. You have a potential that is the influence of our generation, but you cannot work on those potential if you have not discovered it. And that is why the mystery of discovery is very important for you to gain influence and for you to impact your world. Now, there are some of the key principles to potential. One of these principles is that everything begins with a potential. And what I mean by that is that when God created man, he didn't just created 5 billion people. He created one man, and after a time he created another, and he asked them to be fruitful and multiply. So in the potential of that man has the ability in becoming fruitful, and through that man we have 5 billion people on planet Earth. You see that God never made man an already made species. No, he made them to discover themselves and to discover the potential that is within them. When God created animals, he made them male and female and asked them to be fruitful and multiply. And through that mystery, they unravel their potential, and we have so many of them today. So everything starts with a potential. Remember that potential is your untapped abilities. Your potential is your untapped power. Nothing starts by being already made. Michael Jackson was not born knowing how to sing. He had to go through the process of unraveling his potentials and his abilities, and through the process of time he was able to become effective in his abilities and potential. And that is what each and every one of us needs to do. You need to discover yourself. You need to go through the process and unravel the abilities that God has given unto you. That reminds me of the story of the talent in the Bible, where the Lord gave the first 5 talents, and he gave the second servant 3 talents, and he gave the last 1 talent. You see, the symbolic meaning of that talent are your potentials. You see, that in which was given 5 went and he multiplied his own. What it simply means is that he worked on his potential, and he was able to get another 5 talents, and the 3 was also able to get another 3 added onto it. Remember, the one that was given 1 was scared of unraveling his potential, and so thereby he hid it. When the master came, he said, "You wicked servant who have not worked on your talent." What this simply means is that the potential that has been given unto you is not just for you alone. When you hide your potentials, when you do not work on it, you are robbing the world of your giftings and what you are able to do in this generation. So each time you don't work on your potential, you are robbing us of the creativity that you have. You're robbing us of the music that God has deposited in you. You are robbing us of the creativity that the Lord has deposited in you. You are also robbing us from the innovations that has been placed in you. So when you begin to work on your potential, you do not just benefit on your own, your community and your generation also benefits. Can you see how important unraveling the power of your potential is? I want each and every one of you to know that each and everyone has a potential. No one was being brought into this world without a potential. The plant has potentials, the seed has potentials, human beings also have potentials. That is one of the magnificence of God's giftings into our lives. He has given us a supernatural ability that when we begin to work on, we would affect lives and amount of influence in our generation. Potentials is always present, waiting to be used. You see, because you are not as famous as Michael Jackson, and you might not be that best actor, doesn't mean you do not have the ability to become those things. You see, your potentials are sitting dormantly, waiting for you to draw them out and begin to make use of them. Nobody you see today started by being professional in what they do. They started from somewhere and they begin to work on their potential, and that is why they got to where they are today. So it is to you. You have to start tapping from your potentials. You have to start working on those inner abilities and giftings. That is the only way you could get better. It's just like a gold. When you find a gold in itself is not all glittery when you find it in its raw form. One of the things that brings out its beauty is when it goes through refinement. And that is what we need to do with our potentials. Our potential presently in its form are raw. You need to start refining it through process for it to glitter like gold. You need to amount an amount of heat, through workings, through rehearsals, through training, for you to sharpen them. Your potential will lie dormant until you engage them through the process of purification, through the process of heating and working, before you see the best of your potential. And the last one is God created everyone with potential, including you. This is one of the things that a lot of people fail to understand, because they do not see themselves being professional in a particular field. They think that God has not given them the potentials in their life. But I want you to know that God has given each and everyone a potential, and you must accept this truth, because when you do not believe in this, there is no how you can harness anything worthwhile in your life. Why? Because you do not even believe in the fundamentals that you have some hidden abilities and talent, and until you do, you would not be able to harness what God has placed in your heart.